Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? Hope we're having a fantastic day. So I want to go over some news for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles signed a linebacker. Bijan Robinson was on a pre-draft visit. Yes, it's true. It was a rumor last night, and it actually happened, guys. I want to give a little bit of a rant on that whole situation and some news with our other roster. We had Greedy Williams with his press conference and a lot of good things to take out of that as well. So let's get straight into all the news.
Any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
What is going on, guys? Hope it's on a fantastic day. So, yeah, the Eagles sign a new linebacker in Morrow, which it's pretty good, guys. I got to say, for a low-risk, high-reward type signing at 27 years old from a guy that was literally an undrafted free agent in 2017 by the Raiders and had a pretty good year. Okay, and didn't really play well until about 2020. And this was a guy that was a safety turned linebacker. Okay, in 2020, he broke out, it only allowed 4.5 yards per target, so he was a very good coverage linebacker. And he was a big threat as a blitzer as well. Collected 3 sacks, 8 pressures that season. Come into 2021, he got a fully guaranteed contract with $4.5 million by the Raiders. He was re-signed. He suffered an ankle injury, and he was out the rest of the season. That happened in training camp in 2021. 2022, he signed with the Bears, had over 100. He had 116 tackles last year, which is pretty good, guys. And he's known for his coverage. He's known for, and not much as a blitzer, but I think they'll try to turn him into that. But potentially could be better than T.J. Edwards in this system right now. I kind of want to see what this guy's all about. The more tape I watch on him, the more I'm kind of becoming a bigger fan, of this player and how they're going to use him. And I think it's a nice pair between obviously Morrow and having, Nakobe Dean come into the mix, whether Dean's going to play outside or middle. I don't know what they're doing position-wise at linebacker, but, I actually like this signing a lot. This could be a depth signing at the end of the day, but to see what he could do against Davion Taylor and some of the other linebackers, Sean Bradley, that's really just a special teamer at this point. I don't think they're done at this position, but you're seeing a tackling machine on the field right now. And this coverage, has his coverage lacked the past couple seasons. Like last season wasn't great. The Bears defense, what kind of weapons do they have, and how many of these tackles were really uphill runs, these big runs that have happened, and maybe he made some tackles on some positive yards, you know what I mean? So you got to take that into account as well. But is a tackling machine, gets out there, it gets all over the field, and who knows, guys, this could be a really good one. I've watched some tape, and he's an aggressive tackler. He takes really good angles. I just wanted to see if they really want to blitz him more this year, let him shoot the gap, and be a wrecking ball this year. And I think that's what they want to do with him. I think they want to make him a little bit of a balance and get him in coverage as well, which I think he could definitely still do at this point. So there's good things said about him, bad things said about him. Like I said, this is a cheap signing. He missed the 21 season with the foot injury, and then last year he was healthy the whole entire year, which is great. So he's coming off of a healthy year, and not a great defense by the Bears last year. You know what I mean? So obviously one of the worst teams in the NFL, obviously had the first overall pick this past year, so you know what that's about. So glad that the Eagles signed him. At least it's depth, but it's somebody that we might have to keep an eye on. This is a pretty good signing. To line up with Nakobe Dean, I think it's going to work well. We'll just have to see in the future, the OTAs, training camp, all that great stuff. And hey, you know what? I actually like the guy. So let's see, where this goes, and should be interesting. Secondly, guys, I mean, it was true. Bijan was in Philadelphia last night when I made the video, and yes, the Eagles had an official visit with Bijan Robinson from Texas. Damn, dude. I am pretty pumped, I gotta say. And you know what? In the beginning of the draft process about getting a running back, I really thought it was the dumbest idea, probably the most stupid idea, but then I turned to the dark side. And then all of a sudden, there are fans coming out. And look, this is the only time you're going to have the 10th overall pick. And really the only time I'm going to draft him at 10, really. Because, look, other than the offense, the pre-draft visits the Eagles have been between offensive line and defensive line, 5 official visits. And Bijan Robinson, I think, is the 6th visit as of right now as a pure weapon. Okay? And this is a really good sign that the Eagles probably have a lot of interest in. Look, Jordan Davis was very early. I think he was the first or second guy that visited, and they ended up drafting him. So times do change, guys. Okay, a lot of Eagles fans, well, we haven't drafted a cornerback. You don't draft a quarterback in the first round. But you're never going to have this opportunity at the 10th overall pick. The Eagles are not going to have the 10th overall pick probably for a long time. This team stays good for a long time. You're not going to have a pick like that. If Jalen Carter and Will Anderson are not there, who's the next best player available? It's going to be Bijan Robinson. And if obviously Jalen Carter is not taken by the Bears at 9, and if Will Anderson is not taken by the Cards or the Raiders, whoever, which I think he's going to be gone anyway, but Jalen Carter gets taken at 9, you take Bijan. If he's not, then you take that second first-round pick and try to make a big jump, probably use that extra second-round pick from 24, since we got that from the Saints trade, and do some good things with that too. But it's like the same thing with these fans every single year. It's like, we haven't drafted a corner since the early 2000s. We haven't drafted a corner since Leo Shepard. But everybody was on board to get Witherspoon and Gonzalez. But why is that okay? Why? And I understand that you can draft a running back in the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th round. I understand, but the Eagles don't have 4th, 5th, 6th round picks. That's a whole nother thing too. But this is going to be your only time to have a guy in the building for 5 years. Just look at this, okay? This isn't just for this year. Because if you don't touch the running back core, and trust me, Howie Roseman is not comfortable with what he has. He knows the injury concerns for Rashad Penny. He knows that Scott's only on a 1-year deal and it's going to kick return for this team as well. He knows that Gainwell can only do so much, even though they are a big fan of him. He can only do so much with this offense, okay? You draft a guy with your 10th overall pick or move up for him with Bijan Robinson, you're going to do some damage. With the 2 number 1 receivers that you have in Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, with that offensive line you have, it's going to be just ridiculous of what they could do with Bijan. I mean, when Bijan had open holes in Texas, look what he does at the second level. Punishes people. Look what he does with his toughness. Look how you can use him. Okay, the Eagles can have 4 backs on this team this year. Boston Scott will go to special teams strictly. And if a running back gets hurt, Boston Scott does double duty. That's how it's going to work. But if the Eagles leave the running back core the way it is this year, you're down to Kenneth Gainwell all by himself next year all over again. I'm not just looking at this as a move right now for this year. I'm looking at it as a 5-year investment. That's what I'm looking at it. Jalen Hurts and Bijan Robinson on RPOs, read options with this offensive line, with these receivers, with this tight end group. It's unstoppable. You want to put 35-plus points on the board? I get it. People are telling me, well, blah, 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 blah. We can't draft a running back. I understand that 100%. Okay? People are saying, well, why would you go offense if you have a defense right now? Look, you're going to have holes on defense. Not that many, but your defense isn't going to, everyone's got to realize that Howie's not going to do a fully loaded roster. There might not be people that understand the whole entire offseason. They think that Howie's just going to fill this whole roster defensively, and it's going to be the same as last year with really good depth. It's not going to happen this year. We're going to have to rely on this defense being average. This defense, all this defense needs to be is average. KC and what they did to win a Super Bowl, to win a couple of Super Bowls. Look, an average defense, rookie cornerbacks, and they had a powerful offense to complement it. That's what you need going into this year and years to come. You can't have a complete roster. What they did last year, teams can't put rosters like that together. And with good coaching with it, even though, Jonathan Gannon crapped the bed in the second half of the Super Bowl, but and let teams come back into games all year, but that's just enough said with that. We know all the information on that stuff. But you got to take advantage of what you have in this offense since it's still intact. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith are playing for another 10 years together, okay? Your quarterback's going to get a new extension. Imagine just having a guy at high caliber. I don't want a lower talent at running back with this offense. I want a high caliber talent at running back because if the Eagles draft Bijan Robinson, the league is on notice. If they draft Bijan Robinson, yeah, there's going to be teams shitting their pants literally over the idea of, damn, how do we let this happen? Okay, the Cowboys signed Ronald Jones today to a 1-year deal, and he's, I guess, the Zeke replacement because he only played 6 games last year, so he was injured. Okay, the Eagles have a big chance. You're not going to have this chance ever again, okay? You still got your second-round pick. You still have an extra second-round pick. You could do a lot more in this draft than you think, okay? And I think having Bijan on an early pre-draft visit is a really good sign. I know Derek Gunn said today, he's like, oh, the Eagles will never, I heard inside the Eagles that they're not going to draft the running back in the first round. Why would anybody tell you guys, the biggest blabbermouths of this city on news, why would they tell you guys on who the hell they're drafting? This is smoke and mirror season. This is what you're supposed to believe this and you're supposed to believe that. We're going to get tricked on a lot of things. We're going to believe a lot of things that come out when it comes to rumors. That's what they want us to believe. Okay? Understandably, drafting, we need blue chip players defensively. I understand that. Guys that can start day one. Totally understand that. If they only had 1 first-round pick, I wouldn't pick a running back, period. But since they got 2 first-round picks, you're not going to be in this situation ever again. And honestly, this defense just needs to play average. All they have to do is make stops. That's it. Okay, Sean Desai is going to have to be more creative. And to be honest with you, I'm willing to give the guy a chance because with the Bears in 21 as a defensive coordinator and obviously a disciple apprentice of Vic Fangio, he did a really good job, okay, as DC. Okay, the only thing that was bad for Sean Desai was against the run. He was bottom 10 against the run, 25-26. He had a top 10 defense against the pass game, okay? And he was top 5 in sacks for his defense that year. You're not going to have a 70-sack season this year. You're going to get some stops, but you ain't going to have a 70-sack season. You might not even get that this year. Last year was just legendary. Last year, the Eagles didn't take advantage of it. Last year, Jonathan Gannon that could have been the best defense in NFL history if Gannon made adjustments all year and played like they were supposed to. Blame on him more than the players, but that's just the truth to it. So what complements the defense right now? A high, powerful offense that's going to get you 35-plus points on the board every single game. And getting Bijan Robinson is not just for this year. Some people are like, oh, this year makes no sense. It's not just for this year. It's for the next 5 seasons. The investment you're putting into it. Then, if you have a guy like Bijan, you don't have to worry about these QB sneaks. You don't have to worry about Jalen Hurts' run design. The run design from Jalen Hurts on himself is just a luxury from what we have in this offense. Hurts keeping the ball for himself will be just a luxury from what they could do. You know how much attention is going to be on Bijan? You know how much attention and these holes are going to open up for Bijan and the rest of these running backs? Even if they use Gainwell on some passing attempts or, they use Rashad Penny on those, to tire out defenses, kind of use Rashad Penny as that finisher. Tire out those defensive lines will make your pass protection a lot better because you tire those guys out. And then just Bijan is just used everywhere on the field. And between the RPO, the read option, what you could do with these guys. It may sound like a stupid idea because, trust me, I thought it was the dumbest idea to get a running back. And then a light flickered inside my little brain that said, you know what? If I know that we can't get all these pieces on our defense this year, by next year in 24, the Eagles will get more pieces on defense. This year, it's going to be average. This year, all you have to be is average on defense, okay? Not saying they have to be bottom 10 and everything they need to do. They need to make stops, yes, but we have to put more faith into this defensive coordinator. Players can't bail out this defensive coordinator like they did Gannon last year. We need creative thinking with Desai to get pressure on quarterbacks, and he knows how to do it. Statistically, he knows how to do it. I don't know. It's been a couple years since he's been a defensive coordinator, okay? We have to rely on him. When you have less talent on a defense and you're still top 5 in sacks, it's a pretty good sign. I think a lot of fans should be happy. And I understand after the first game, if he plays bad, people are going to want him fired. I already know what's going to happen. Okay, but and the next great thing about this whole situation is they have a tough schedule. So There's no excuses for what quarterback we didn't beat, not high caliber quarterback, bad team after bad team, whatever the case may be, because everybody in the NFC East had really an easy schedule. Okay, so I totally get it. The NFC is no Tom Brady, no Aaron Rodgers. I mean, got to take advantage of this situation as of right now. We have to rely on this defensive corner. We can't rely on every position, every player, every depth piece. We have to rely on how this defensive coordinator uses these pieces to these games and creating pressure, to get quarterbacks. What is going to be up Sean Desai's sleeve? Sean Desai is going to designate where this defense goes. When you have less talent, you have to compensate for it and be more mindful and make more adjustments and be smart. And not play passive and not sit back. And that's what we're going to get out of Sean Desai. So for the people that are like, you don't draft the running back top 10, but everybody's talking about, drafting a corner in the first round. When the Eagles have done that? Not in a long time, but people still wanted to do that. But when it comes to running backs, and honestly, it's an expendable position. I totally get it. We let Miles Sanders walk. We probably could have re-signed him, but it was a waste because this is a running back heavy draft. I don't want to get the lesser talent of the middle rounds. Even though you could find gems there, I want the best guy. And I don't think people are saying he's slow, he might be a bust. Like, this guy is far from being a bust. I am telling you right now. Bijan, whatever team gets him, is going to be lucky. The Eagles, I think, have more than a lot of interest. The Eagles are going to shock people this draft. I am telling you right now. Do not be surprised if they get a running back. And honestly, like I said, if they only had one first-round pick, I totally get it. I wouldn't even touch this move. With 2 first-round picks to literally get a blue-chip player in your offense, I understand what changes do you have in this offense this year? There's not many changes. What? Juergens goes to right guard, wide receiver 3 with Quez. Is that going to be the answer? Is that all? Is that it? Because Miles Sanders leaving doesn't make a damn difference to me. He's one of my favorite players, but it is what it is. Business is business. Rashad Penny, we have to rely on him being healthy, and I don't think Howie trusts this running back core. I really don't. You're not wasting one of your official visits on Bijan Robinson just because, let's just talk to him. Why not? No, this is realistic. The Eagles, they're going to pull a fast one because most of these GMs are like, Eagles are either taking offensive or defensive line. They're going to have no idea that the Eagles are taking Bijan Robinson. They're going to literally shock the world and get this done. And you have that man in your building for 5 years. You don't have to worry about it. Because come next year in 24, if you draft Bijan, it's going to be Bijan and Gainwell. That's all you're going to need. You're not going to have to sign 3-4 running backs. You're not even going to have to necessarily bring Boston Scott back unless you want him for special teams, which is another problem right now. But that's all I really got to say on the issue. You might not agree. You might agree. I don't know. But I'm telling you guys, you're not going to have that defense like you did last year. It's not going to be loaded. It's going to be up to someone's brain to make this thing work in that defensive coordinator, Sean Desai. Players cannot bail out this defense anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. I want a smart DC to come in here and be here for a long time. And I hope it's Sean Desai. And I hope he's the right guy. So that's why they should go get Bijan Robinson. Go be the biggest threat, most explosive offense I have ever seen. Hurts to Bijan, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, top 3 offensive line. Go get it. Go get that man and run the fucking shit. Run everything down their throats every single game. Because I'm telling you, nobody is going to be able to defend this offense with Bijan. It's dangerous now. Just wait until they get him in the backfield. Jesus. It's going to be nuts. But that's my rant on Bijan Robinson and why. And obviously, like I said, no one has to agree. This is just my opinion. I respect anybody that doesn't want to get him. I get it. Trust me. But it's getting to a reality now. Big reality. Last bit of news I want to talk about. That's a lot of time. The last bit of news I want to talk about is Greedy Williams. Okay, had his press conference today, and you know what? I'm actually really excited about Greedy Williams. Okay, now Greedy did talk about this was a good scheme fit. This is a winning culture in Philadelphia. Obviously, he saw this team was just in the Super Bowl. A lot of players are still here. But he was excited because he got to talk to A.J. Brown. They talked as soon as he signed. And apparently, A.J. Brown and Greedy Williams back in college used to really battle it out. which is pretty cool. And obviously, you saw the picture from last year with the Browns, when A.J. Brown mossed Greedy Williams on the field and was looking down at him. We're like, yep, A.J. Brown's the real deal, and I can't wait till he plays in his first game. That's what we're really excited about. But Greedy is really, he kind of humbled himself a little bit at the press conference and said, I had a lot of down years, had up and down years, and dealt with injury, and a lot of stuff has happened to him. Coming to Philadelphia, these wide receivers might bring the best out of him. I'm not saying that Greedy Williams is going to start outside corner. I'm not saying he's going to take anyone's job away, because it's definitely not going to happen. But to have a guy like that as a backup, and if he gets better, and because his size and athleticism is great. I think he's fantastic, but got to stay healthy. And he's probably been in the wrong situation for a long time, with the Browns. You know what I mean? So coming to a new team, a new venture, and now in competition and ready to fight with Devontae Smith and AJ. We're gonna see a lot of stuff at camp. We can't wait till the videos to come out on the matchups and what we see from some of these guys. It's gonna be pretty good. Like, if Greedy Williams has to play some games this year, if God forbid something happens, and plays really well, who knows? He might be a big re-sign candidate for the Eagles. He might really like it here. So I'm really excited about Greedy Williams, as much as, he's had the injuries, but the athleticism is there. He's got great size, like I said. Get back to his roots of what he should be, and I think these receivers are going to make him a lot better, and we're going to see the matchups of what we get. So I thought this was an underrated signing. I thought, you really have nothing behind these corners. Who do you have? There's really nothing there. Obviously you have Justin Evans that you signed. He's played free safety. He's played nickel as well, but and he's been more injured than Greedy Williams has. You know what I mean? So to add at least another player that could contribute to the secondary, see how he stacks up against guys like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, but not that. But let's see if it puts a fire under Josh Jobe or Mario Goodrich. You know what I mean? Guys like that, like some of these backups that we have here. So Zech McPherson, there's a lot of competition going on. You got to bring in more competition. If Zech McPherson, Josh Jobe, and Morrow Goodrich are not moving, and they're not going up, they're not going down, they're just sitting neutral, and they're just like, they're not really giving us anything, then you got to make moves. You got to give those guys more competition. Greedy Williams, I think, is going to fight this offseason. I think he's going to fight. I think he's going to scratch and claw. I think he's going to be scrappy. I think we're going to bring out a different side to Greedy that he hasn't felt in a long time and being a football player. So I'm pretty pumped about this with Greedy. It's going to be patient. We have to be patient with it. And, obviously training camp come close enough. I can't wait to see these guys battle it out. It's going to be friggin' awesome. And I hope we see some good things out of it. So other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. It's a 22-minute video right now. It is a long video right now. So I kind of just want to go over just everything about, obviously, the new signing of Nicholas Morrow, which I think is going to be a nice complimentary piece if he works out. I think he can cover. I think he could blitz. I think they could do a lot more with him. I think he's more of a balanced linebacker. I think we'll be better than what we had with T.J. Edwards and Kaiser White, in my opinion, but we'll see. And obviously, Bijan the Philadelphia, man. I give you all my reasons. I'm not going to say why. Again, you already know. And Greedy Williams, trying to make a big comeback in his career. And I think the Eagles could get that fight out of him. And I'm pretty excited about it. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. If you lasted this long, 23 minutes, I do appreciate it. Guys, haven't subscribed to the channel. Like the video as well. We'll cover the Eagles every single day. You guys enjoy yourselves. We'll see you on the next one. SHAKESQUAD up, follow, slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.